always love innovation, and
we did see while Starterfight pulled out of Watson, we saw Go Next pull out Revenant, which is really exciting. And we are getting a bit of meta variation here and there, which is nice, especially on our first day, where typically teams do want to play a little bit more conservative, play what everybody else is doing. Now they're experimenting a little bit more, and it's definitely coming across well in the results.
I mean, and to give credit to Go Next as well, we talked about them a lot when we were watching the games, Tiff. They were able to contest 100 Thieves and kind of fight them off that POI. It paid off well for them in some of those Storm point matches.
Yeah, that's where things got really crazy, because I wasn't anticipating that kind of contest to carry forward from scrims. A lot of teams that were contesting at Antenna were starting to elect to land in that no-name area just over the mountain outside of Antenna, but this one, it got brutal, and being able to force such a top-tier team of 100 Thieves out, that just goes to show you that everyone that had Go Next as a dark horse, they were right. They knew something, and they came here to play.
But then at the end of the day, Dia, it was all about Dreamfire. I mean, the top of the leaderboard at the end of that first series. Incredible performance out of them.
Yeah, and when I talk about the rotations, to get a little bit more specific as to what was going so well for them, they, in our very first game, hit super early rotations, leaving before even 40 seconds had finished on the map. But the change up in that, based on where the zone was pulling, even minutely, ended up being really important for them on their World's Edge games, and I'd say Storm Point both. They had this really keen eye about how to prioritize a rotation that would give them high ground, whether it meant leaving early and approaching from their strong side of the map, or rotating further away onto the slow side of the zone in order to make that work. When we came over to Storm Point, it was a very similar story where we saw them interacting with the map in such a way that they would very quickly find themselves in a position where they could then retain high ground for the next couple of minutes and really stave off a lot of other teams.
Yeah, definitely looking strong to start off the day here for sure, but now we're moving into groups C and D, and obviously all of these squads want to be the ones to be going home with that trophy. So let's take a look at what Group C has to offer.
Jan is going crazy this game here.
They fly in, the dojo, they came out swinging.
You've just got to make sure you do what you can. Well, had the opportunity, they get the first knock on the score, make it 2 on that slot. Only one left for the Thieves, and Gambare Otosan.
And they put Alliance once again.
And here, Monsoon finishes off.
She goes to arrive, it's a trade on the roses.
Here comes Zero!
Zero! The captain! The IGL to send it back down under!
All right, Tiff. Lots of really good choices here, but after looking at Group C, I have to ask you which team you're going to be keeping your eyes on.
What, as if Dark Zero ending that wasn't good enough? Alliance in this group phase? But no, it's actually going to be someone completely different that has been making waves. My team to watch is going to be the Dojo, the roster of It's Timmy, Designful, and Enemy. And here's why. This is your team that came first in the ALGS Last Chance Qualifier for North American region. And Timmy, very much like a Shroud, right? Just so talented, pulling the roster together. You've got Designful, formerly on Elevate, formerly on G2, but Enemy, who had played in Split 1 playoffs under Oxygen. This roster has came together under the helm of Timmy, who's being the IGL. Now, what I want to see for this squad is that they make it on Final Sunday. I know they can do it, but here's the deal. Timmy has to have confidence, and his teammates need to trust in the Timmy's calls. And I think that if they can have the trust in Timmy to make the right decisions, and hey, sometimes things go wrong and that's okay, but you trust Timmy, we see you at the top.
I've even talked to the Dojo, and I'm sure you've heard this from them as well, but they're very aware that the way that they got